What's up guys, it is your boy, Stay Lucky Fishing, back at you with another video. I'm sorry, I know it's been a while, college is kicking my ass. So, what am I going to talk about today? Well, today I'm going to start a series, this being the first episode, of a little bit of a basic thing for beginners and novices. I've taught a lot of people how to fish, and I actually got a request from one of my friends, hey, do a video teaching me how to pick a rod, line up a reel, tie a knot, use live bait, stuff like that. So that's what I'm starting with today. Today I'm going to start with picking a rod, a reel, and line on a budget. So one of the combos that I really like, for a perfect example, is a combo that I've had for a while. It is a Daiwa 6'6" medium power rod, moderate action, and then a Lose 3000 size reel with 8-pound mono on it. Very simple. It holds up real well. I can actually still use this for big fish. I caught a 27, 28-inch walleye on it back in November, if you guys remember that. So the reason I pick out this rod for somebody who wants to catch some fish and is on a budget. First of all, we'll start with the rod. It's a medium action, so you're right in the middle. Ultralight that's the smallest kind of rod you can have. It's for your trout and your panfish. And if you hook a bass or a bigger carp, you're fucked. So, and then extra heavy, you're not going to be able to cast little baits. If you want to catch sunfish or bass, you're not going to be able to cast anything. Those are like giant saltwater reels. So take a medium, right in the middle. For length, since I like a little bit of a longer rod for farther casts, I usually go 6'6" or 7 foot long. The action of a rod instead of the power. The action of the rod is how stiff the tip is, how far down it's going to bend. So say a really stiff rod would be a fast action. It's not going to bend a lot. Only the very top is going to bend. And that's all well and good for like light baits and finesse. But if you're chucking heavier baits, might have a little bit of an issue, I think. That's just what I felt. And then the super slow action rod is going to be super flimsy. You're not going to be able to set the hook on anything really heavy. Again, that's just how I feel. So I usually go with a moderate power rod. This thing, I can chuck little light baits like a slider grub, and I can throw bigger baits like this big crankbait or even a spinner bait or a popper if I wanted to. So that's where I go with the rod. The reel, since I like to use sometimes 10 or 15 pound, 20 pound braid, which I actually do suggest for beginners because it's really easy to cast, you just whip it out there. Or I like to use mono because it's cheaper, it tangles less, you don't have to tie a lead or knot. It just doesn't cast as far, it's not as sensitive, but I'll get into that choice in a little bit. The reel, just any kind of reel. I prefer a Kast centron or any Lose brand or an Abu Garcia brand if you could find it under $40. Daiwas are okay, but they wear out pretty fast in my opinion. So I went with the Lose reel that I got for my birthday a few years back. And it's actually a very good reel. It's only $40 though, which is nice. Moving on to line selection. So I prefer two kinds of line for beginners. I told my friend recently, get braid. For this reason, I know it's a little more pricey and it tangles up and you gotta learn how to tie knots, but it takes you a day to do that. And it's fine. I'd much prefer it, even when I was a little younger. I started preferring it a lot, even when I was like 12. So it's a little more pricey. I recommend the Kast brand braid in 15-pound test because it's really thin and you can still cast pretty light baits with it. But say if you hook into something bigger, you want to go carp fishing, you want to throw swim baits for, schoolie stripers, whatever, you're going to be fine. And then as far as mono goes, if you want to go on the cheaper end and not have to tie leader knots, I like Trilene XT mono. I'm going to leave links for all of these in the description. Trilene XT 8-pound mono. And that's just, it holds up really well. A lot of abrasion resistance. It's only $8 a spool. So you're going to be fine. So in conclusion, rods, for your options, I like to go a 7-foot Shimano solara rod, medium action. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Or the Daiwa shock in the 6'6" medium action. Again, I'll leave that in the description. For reels, I like to go a Kast centron in 2,000 to 3,000 sizes. Or this Lose reel, again, I'll leave the link to both in the description. Line, braided Kast in 10 or 15 pound test. I will leave a link to that in the description, as well as the Trilene line. Stay lucky, guys. Have fun learning. Peace out.